I think that kind of iconic view of public housing being the high-rise is really, it's only part of the story because it's much more comprehensive.
It was subsidized and it became affordable. Now really we try to just think of it as housing.
In about 5 to 10 years, you won't be able to tell what's social housing and what's market housing. It'll be totally integrated.
In Chicago, there's this thing that is referred to as Weiss versus Mies, or the humanist versus the structuralist. And Skidmore, Owings and Merrow being the structuralist, sort of corporate approach to design, these big buildings and building as a structure. Whereas Harry Weiss represented the humanist side. Subsidized housing, low-income housing, it's had many names. It really became the impetus for starting this firm.
Whether it's in Canada or the United States, public sector is demanding a certain level of affordability and a certain level of social responsibility. And a lot of developers now get it. They understand why it's important. It's about good city building. And a lot of developers are very proud that they are contributing to the regeneration of their city and see this as something that doesn't affect their bottom line, but impacts the social bottom line of the community that they're working with.
Our clients really are the people in the community. That might sound a little pushing it a bit, but it's true. The city and HUD and other financial entities are the funders, and they have certain requirements, and there's a lot that happens with them. And then there's the people that we're actually designing for, and trying to be in touch with them is a critical piece of what we do.
There's a common denominator, which is we start off by asking questions. What could we do at a visionary level that would really be transformative in your community or in your city?
I mean, we get to neighborhoods that most people that we know don't ever get to because they just don't. We come out there and they think we're inspectors, and it's hard for them to get past the fact that we're not. But we understand that they might be reluctant to talk to us initially. So we started this program, these lab programs, where we'd hire some kids that come to us through some of the programs in the city that identify kids interested in architecture and planning, design. But we also go out to the communities where we might be doing a project, and through the developer, the community organization, identify some kids out there. And then we go out to that same community and start engaging the residents, because the residents will talk to them a whole lot easier than they'll talk to us.
And they're digging up information. They're talking to people.
Such as movement, how people move around, whether it's cycling, walking, community amenities, where do your kids go to school, what are the parks like, what's it like in the winter, what's it like in the summer.
And that's brought back and then integrated into the project.
They develop this information, and almost everything they come up with every year, we use it.
As we start to engage with the community or with the city, those conversations over time tend to get more and more specific. As a result, we then are able to draw out some initial ideas.
A range of options for affordable housing, for homeless working class, workforce housing, there's seniors, there's lots of different communities.
More and more what we're seeing is that cities are competing with each other to attract talent. And that talent will go to the places that have the greatest vibrancy. And usually that vibrancy, that level of interest is about good design.
It really kind of goes beyond just architecture in the traditional sense. I think that we're looking beyond the building, making community design decisions and connections that can make the buildings much better and more connected for the people that are living in them.
Communities change and they're cyclical. If they don't reinvest in themselves, they will atrophy and lose what makes them special.